Well, we finally got back on the engine. Had a bit of a traumatic week, but there we are. Now, Alex said he needs to know how to take the gudgeon pin out. So you need a punch that fits just a bit smaller than the gudgeon pin, and you just tap it through. It's very simple. And this little socket bar I made is perfect. So just hold it like that so you don't drop it, and just tap it out like that. Look, there we are. It's not actually quite long enough, but it's come near enough. So there we are. That's the gudgeon pin, and there's piston, all the rings off, and it's quite clean. Right, now I'll show you the washing, which is very simple. Obviously, we'll move the camera nearer so we can zoom into my little tank, which is the bottom of the oil container I cut off, washed out, and I found a drop of paraffin. I like using paraffin better than white spirit. It's a bit oily. Anyway, so all we do, I'll do the crankshaft first. You just put it in, and just, I've got a piece of rag here, just spin that over so I can see if we're, yeah, you can see alright with that. So just get a brush and some paraffin, wash it all off, give it a real good scrub. If you're doing a large engine, car engine, my friend Carl, my good friend and mentor Carl, when we did these engines, he always said, well, plenty of paraffin and water, and blow it through with a hose pipe if you can. Get plenty through the oilways and it clears it all out. And I'm a big believer that paraffin and water is the best way to do it. I would like the sunny day, it's better for drying it, but you know, it's a very small engine and we can take it inside and it will dry okay, and we're going to wire brush everything thoroughly, so any spots of rust it does get, and it shouldn't get any at all, will come off. There'll be nothing at all, there's no damage at all. So what we do, let's do that like that. Right, and I'm just going to put them on the floor a second and I'll do the cover. Now that gasket, which I'm using again, is stuck on, so in this case I'm leaving it on. Usually you wouldn't do that, but if you look how clean it is inside, I mean, normally they're thick black oil, so you need a small wire brush on your drill and you just do it in the tank. But for this reason, that has actually come off. No, it won't come off. I'm trying not to tear that because, as I say, I'm reusing them. A slight tear there, but that won't matter, because I'll use some red hematite on it and stick it back again. So I'm only going to do this cover, and I'll show you some of the bolts, just washing them. So I'm just going to do this cover. There's a little bit of gunge there, look, you see. I hope you can see it. We'll do it a tiny bit higher up, can't we? Just a little bit, like that. There we are. You can see a little bit more then. I mean, you don't need to be told how to wash things, but the trouble is, most people, they wash them off in paraffin or solvent of some sort, and then all they do is blow them off with airline, if they have one, or they wipe them with a rag, something like that. Well, it's just not good enough. No, to do it properly, you wash all the paraffin off in water, just as you wash your dishes. And then, once dry, rotary wire brush everything, and they literally do come up the cleanest as you can get. They really seriously do. And I honestly don't believe there's a better way. This oil seal, again, would come out, I told you, but we're using the same ones. So that has to stop. So all we do is go there's very little dirt on this, it really is. So we'll do this cover, and then I'll save you all the boredom of watching the rest of it. I've got the engine down here to do, not the ancillaries. I'll do them at a later date. But we do the engine first and then get the engine built back up again. So wash that off. I'm just getting all this off. make sure I'm thorough. That's the thing. Make sure you're very thorough. And then I've got a strainer, well, it's a cooking strainer, and just do the bolts. You just put them in here and then rinse them in water. Take them out, put them on some old rag or something on your table inside. Normally I would have, as I say, I really did want a nice sunny day to do this job, because you leave them outside in the sunshine or in the drying about 20 minutes, thoroughly dry. But we're not going to get that, I'm afraid. It's forecast this sort of weather. I've got a bit of a bright spell today, so I thought I must take the opportunity to do it. So just do all that, and you can do it with your finger in the main bearing. Just make sure everything is absolutely clean and all the oil's removed, and then you can do that. So a little bit in there I've not got to yet. Just make sure everything is absolutely clean, every corner, every nook and cranny. Plenty of paraffin in. Wash it all off. Have a careful look. There's a little bit there we haven't got. Do that bit. Do it very, very thorough. You cannot be too clean. It wants to be. It wants to be so clean that you'd think you're in an operating theatre in the hospital, and then you won't have any problems, because the smallest bit of dirt. We've had engines in the past, many years ago when we did them, and we've ground the crank for someone and it went away. It's a true story, this. And then it came back again for another grind, and we got it back, and there was a little bit of gruft in the corner, and the crank hadn't been cleaned properly. And we did what we call the short engine fault. We just rebored it and cleaned it up properly, and just did the cylinder block and the crankshaft and the conrods and the pistons. Fitted that, and they put it in the car, and it was never any more problems. So, you know, I'm talking from experience. I really am. So that's as clean as it can be. It really is. And all this is just, it's not dirt, that's just, that will all wire brush up. And that will come out absolutely as new. And we can, I've shown you wire brushing, so I'll show you some little bits when we do it again, just to remind you, just in case anyone's missed that part. But if you have, well, go and have a look, it's all there. So that's that bit. So that's enough of the washing. Right. I'll just tip the camera down to my bucket. And all I do is I've got a bucket with water. Where's that gone? Oh, down there. Right. Reposition the camera. I'll just zoom out a bit because it's not. There we are. That's it. And all you do, you just get your parts cleaned, and you dip them in the water and give them a good swill about. And it washes all the paraffin off and any residue that comes off with it. You know, it really is. It's like washing your dishes and getting a shine. And well, you can see that. Look, I mean, it needs nothing doing. I will wire brush it, of course, all over. But look, I mean, it's just like brand new. And the cover as well. Get it in. Give it a good swell, like that, all the way around. With plenty of water. Paraffin to loosen any of the sediment off it. And I mean, if you look at that, I mean, it's, yeah, I'm sure you can see there's, you know, it really is good. But the outside plate will get cleaned. You know, we'll wire brush that, and that will be wire brushed as well. So that's it. That's all I've got to show you today. Right, I'll get on and do the rest of these pieces.